previous video, we created a template that allows us to view a single post at a time. This will serve as the foundation for adding comments. First, let's go ahead and make a file called comments. So in my text editor here, I'll just create a new file called comments.php. And when we go back to our theme and refresh, you can see that already WordPress automatically is starting to use our comments.php file because there's nothing here. We have some comments, but all we have is the comment form that we included earlier. So let's go ahead and fill out the comments template. The first thing that we need to do is make a container for our comments, and then before we render the template, make sure that we have comments in the first place. If we don't have comments, there's no need to render the template at all. So I'll go ahead and open up a div, and I'm going to give it the class comments, and I'll close it there. And we'll open up PHP tags, and if we have comments, then we're going to go ahead and do something, which we'll get to in a second. Next, we want to print out all of our comments using an ordered list and the template tag WP comments. So inside of here, we're going to create an ordered list, and we're going to give it the class comment list, and we'll close the ordered list. And inside of our ordered list, we're going to use the template tag WP list comments. And when we switch back to the browser and refresh, this post has quite a few comments, and we can go ahead and add more if we want to. And you can see that we even have threaded comments. So it would be nice if we printed out the number of responses to our blog post right below the comment form and just above the comments. Something like 1 response or 15 responses to another blog post. This sounds easy enough, but it is going to require some coding finesse. First, we're going to make a call to a function that doesn't exist, and then we're going to write that function. So we're going to first switch back to our comments template, and just above our comment list, we're going to create a headline tag at level 3, and we'll give it the ID comments title, and then we'll close it. And inside of this headline tag, we'll open up PHP tags, and we're going to make a call to a function called number of responses. This is not a WordPress template tag. This is a function that we're actually going to write ourselves. And for functions that we write ourselves, we'd like to put them in functions.php. Again, this is the file that helps you store helper functions that you write yourself. It's a good idea to use functions because it keeps your code clean and it allows you to reuse code a little bit easier. If you've never written a function before, or you're not very experienced with programming, you don't need to worry about this too much. Just try to follow along. First, let's go ahead and create our function. We'll call it number of responses. And this does actually need to be in PHP tags in order to work. So we'll go ahead and add those now. And we'll just indent that there. And inside of this function, we're going to print using a WordPress function called _n. So first, I'm going to use printf. And inside of our printf, we're going to use _n. And I'm going to just type out the arguments here, and then we'll go over them quickly. So 1 response to our blog post, and we're going to use some funny characters here, which again I'll explain in a moment. And then again, responses to the name of our blog post, and then we need to get comments number, and that actually is a WordPress function. So this WordPress function takes 3 arguments, and it will help us pluralize the word response if we have more than one comment. That's the first set of these funky looking symbols here. The next part of this is to print the name of the blog post. That's the second set of symbols that you see here. Explaining these bits is a bit beyond the scope of this video, but if you've never come across these before, just think of them as blanks that get filled in by other values. The values that fill in these blanks follow the strings. So now let's fill in the number of comments and the blog post title. So next, we're going to type get comments number, get the title, and then we're going to actually end that line. So when we switch back and refresh, there we have it. We have 4 responses to another blog post, which is the title of this post. Now, we could, of course, spend some time styling these comments just like we did with the comment form, and we could probably make these look a lot better, but you get the idea. We now have a blog with comments, and we're just about done. In the next video, we'll build out our sidebar and finish things up.